are. It is Friday, April 60, 2021. I am James. You are you. We are here. Welcome to the weekend. We burst into the final hours of Friday evening on a rainy, somber, soggy, moist, uneventful, and if you're James Allen McGee, diarrhea-filled day. But we say goodbye to all of our troubles as we lay our heads on our pillow tonight and we emerge into Saturday morning where the sun will be shining, the birds will be tweeting, and the coffee will be enjoyed. But the question that some, and when I say some, I mean me, will be asking themselves, and when I say themselves, I mean myself, is, do I dare have a large latte? Should I inject more milk, more dairy, more frothiness into an already precarious stomach? And if you're someone healthy, you don't have to worry about it. That's how we're starting tonight's show. And yes, I know that I had promised a 9 p.m. sharp start. We did it on Wednesday, and we came ever so close tonight, 9:01 p.m. And there's a very good reason for that. How shall we put this, mistakenly forgot to pass on ownership of our behind-the-scenes call to tonight's technician. If I had not done that, this show would have become truly a well-oiled machine. Because look, I've seen these other shows, right? I've seen them come and I've seen them go. There's a lot of Johnny-come-latelys out there. There's a new kid in town. I'm only talking in Eagles song lyrics tonight. I've seen them fall by the wayside. They try to put their programs on the air. You want to talk about me being 5 minutes late? I've seen shows start 30 minutes late. I have seen shows not even start. So comparatively, 1 minute late, not that bad, right? I could have happily gone back to 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, but no. I've given you, the viewer, the audience, the fan base, something to look forward to. You know, in your heart of hearts, that when I make a promise, I'm going to do my best to keep it. The key word there being my best. 1 minute late, right? You can forgive your old pal Jim, right? Little cutie, you can't stay mad at this face, right? Sure, we were 1 minute late. Yes, I talked about diarrhea, but now we're getting into the flow of things, right? We are easing into the groove of what has been possibly the best week of shows in the history of At Home. Now, I've said that before, but I'm the type of person that likes to set a standard, put a bar out there, and each and every week try to leap over that bar, setting a new standard, reaching a new plateau. When I get to the top of the mountain and I feel accomplished, I look up and I see another mountain in front of me. And I make the promise to you and to myself that I will climb it each and every time. And how, are you asking? Are we going to try to top ourselves tonight? What a lineup. That's all I can say. What a lineup. I've said it before, but here's the thing. I've lied. Openly, I have lied. Tonight, much later on, Dimitri Kyres is going to be here. Now, the past couple weeks, Dimitri has been taking me through the ringer. This young man thinks that it's time for me to find love. I'm open for business. Sure, some businesses say, hey, we're open, and they exist on a busy street where there's a lot of foot traffic, whereas my business, that's also open, exists in a off-road alleyway, not accessible by car. You know what that makes me? Makes me hard to get in a variety of ways. In the traditional way, in which that people don't know quite how to penetrate my force field, hard to get, but also hard to get in the sense that people have a hard time getting me or tolerating me. Dimitri's back tonight. What does he have planned? I don't know. Last week, he took me on a tour of his new game show, Who Wants to Be Montreal's Hottest Stud? He tried to help me. His dad tried to help me. Perhaps I am without help. I'm a lost cause, but that's just the type of guy this Dimitri Kyres is. He sees me, a character down on his luck, toiling in obscurity, floating around the bowl, unable to be flushed. And he goes, no, this is the type of person that needs to be saved. That's later on. Also joining tonight's show, she used to be here every week, every single week. She would dance into frame. She would say vulgar things. She would take the show into the gutter. She'd make me uncomfortable. But we loved her. And then, you know what happened? She got a real life job. And she sent me a text message. She said, James, I can't do this Friday thing anymore. I need my Fridays to myself. I said, hey, you've earned this vacation. But tonight she's back. She's got her lips background. The annoying song is here. The Can I Dance for You? If you know it, sing along. Steph Mercier Voyer is going to be here in just a little bit. We're going to kick things off with a truly legendary collaborator on this show. He's been here since the beginning. We've teased him. We've poked him. We've prodded him. We have stolen pumpkin carving competitions from his greasy grips. Joe Conto is going to be here in just a matter of moments. Before we do that, let me engage with the chat and say thank you so much for being here tonight. On time again, they say. Off by 1 minute, not too bad. I'll tell you this much. The past 2 nights of starting virtually on time have yielded good viewership. Maybe starting late hurts viewership. Take note, James. See, I'm not beyond fixing myself. I'm not beyond self-improvement. And neither is our first guest. This is a guy, he's cleaned his act up over the years. When I met our first guest, this guy was a deviant. But now he's a true angel. Let us welcome, coming to us all the way from New York. Haven't seen him in a year. And when I do, it's virtually. He is the one and only Joe Conto. Joe, welcome back.
Hey!
Not a hot start, Joe.
I'm old.
Hello,
how are you?
The intro was great. You came in with your hey, and then you're hacking up a lot.
Pardon me. I'm a smoker now.
Hey, Joe, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Have you ever enjoyed cigarettes?
Oh, when I was waiting tables, I would go out after work, and if I was drinking, I'd have a cigarette or two. Sure.
Okay. Now, have you ever purchased cigarettes, or would you be someone to bum a dart? As
I know what you're saying. Yeah. No, I bummed cigarettes off people, or I would wait. Or I would wait until it was offered to me, and then I would gladly take it. But I don't think I've never. Oh, that's not true. When we were in high school, we would go to Montreal.
Which is maybe Canada's capital of smoking.
Yeah, and this was back in like the 80s, right? Because I was a teenager, and we would buy Dumouriez and smoke them. Yeah, in Canada. So yeah, I guess I did. I've purchased cigarettes, but never in the States.
Now, have you ever smoked one of those thin cigarettes?
Do you mean marijuana? No, what are you asking about?
I'm not talking.
You're like a Virginia Slim or something?
Yeah, just like one of those dainty cigarettes.
No, I've never smoked a dainty cigarette.
You see women smoke in movies.
Yes. Yeah. And I never had a a cigarette holder or anything.
Yeah.
If you're asking me that.
I would love to find a way to get you a thin cigarette that you can just hold every time you're on this show. You look like someone that should have a thin cigarette.
And you want me to hold it like this, Oops. Oh shit. No, I'm a wreck. Like this.
Things are not working out well for you in this segment so far, Joe.
No, well, I'm trying to be.
You're coughing. You're dropping pens, Joe. What's going on? You're nervous. Right?
I'm a prop. Well, here's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I think diarrhea has gotten a bad rap. I
like where you're going, Joe. I like where you're going with this. You're swinging things back for me.
Okay. I had a colonoscopy last summer, my second colonoscopy ever. I've gotten to that age. And I'm telling you, and by the way, I'm sure I've told you before, I have diarrhea quite often, right? It's my nature.
You look,
And
diarrhea is what you call Wednesday.
yeah, right. I mean, I have it a lot. So at any rate, like regularly. But here's the deal. I went and got my colonoscopy, right? And problems in that area run in my family. Sure. Not with me though. After, they put you in there and they put you under a little bit, and then they do what they need to do. Let's just say that. And then after, you're kind of coming out of it, and the doctor says, looks good, no polyps, 55, right? I go, not a polyp, because I'm a little bit wacky. He goes, nope. Well, he's a very serious doctor, Dr. Glenn. He says, well, no, we checked thoroughly and we saw no indication of polyps. I go, not a one? And he goes, nope. And then I go, clean as a whistle? And he goes, yes, clean as a whistle.
So basically you're doing routine and he's not responding to it.
Right. And what I do is, if somebody doesn't respond, I go too far. You know how I am.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah, you guys, terrible. And so I go, clean as a whistle, and he goes, yes, I guess you could say clean as a whistle. And then
he leaves work when night falls down, and you're hanging out by his car, and you got a notebook full of
more stick.
Yeah, more anus jokes.
But this is the thing. I go, one last question, doctor. I go, could my colon be served as calamari in a fine restaurant? And that's when he goes, let's get you back to recovery.
Yeah.
But I thought it was perfectly hilarious, right? Comedy gold. Comedy gold. Yeah. But here's the point. I owe my clean colon to regular bouts of diarrhea.
Regular, it flushes you out, cleans out all the toxins.
I don't know what I think it's problematic to have stuff in there for too long. Well, that's not a problem with me. So anybody who gets it, thank whoever for providing you with a system cleanse.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, Joe. You have just earned yourself a new lead-in nickname when you appear on this show. It's going to be, our next guest has a polyp-free sphincter. It's Joe Conto, everyone.
My whole colon, not just my sphincter.
Our next guest has a polyp-free sphincter. It's Joe Conto.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right. Now, Joe, I've been trying to get you on for a couple days. You're here tonight, and you sent me earlier today a message with what I call a pitch.
An idea.
What we call in the industry. Now, Joe, do you want to take us through what your pitch was?
Yeah, I thought to myself, I guess I was treating this like a middle school sleepover. And I was like, we need to have games, because I don't want everybody to come to my sleepover and be bored, right? Yeah. So we have to have something. So I thought to myself, I noticed on Facebook, somebody said, find out what the #1 song was on your 21st birthday, and the name of the song, the title rather, indicates how 2021 is going to roll out for you.
Yeah.
And I thought that sounds fun.
Yeah. And you said that. So I saw the messages. I was cleaning my home. I saw the messages, and then I saw that you followed up the pitch with, is this fun? This could be fun. And I thought, I don't know if Joe's confident in his idea.
No, because we've never done anything like this. And I don't know that many songs.
This is the first.
Yeah.
This is the first, but and I have to tell you this, Joe, there's not a lot of people that send pitches.
No, and we might find out why.
We might find out why. So, Joe, I appreciate. I can tell you're getting nervous.
You know how you make me nervous when you lead up to something. I feel like I'm gonna get a pie in the face. Okay,
Joe, we're having a good time right now.
Yeah, no, we sure are. We sure are
having a good time. I want to tell you that I really admire the courage. Because not a lot of people send me pitches.
No, I know.
But we also need, on the flip side, if this doesn't work out well, you're on thin ice.
Well, what does that mean? Does that mean I don't get invited on, or does it just mean that I get roasted?
I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure what I know. I feel about it yet.
I might have to go through a gauntlet of challenges to return.
All I'm saying is, you got to make this fun.
Here's the trouble. At every sleepover, there's one person who's like the You know, like the
Come on,
facts of
Joe.
life.
Come
You know,
on,
like
Joe.
you know, like the facts of life. You remember that TV show?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
Yeah, you know, there was like the Natalie, like she, like she hung out and everything,
Yep.
but you know, she was like, oh, Natalie, and she was
Mm-hmm.
like, what? I'm trying to be, you know, I'm just one of the gang. That's always a person in every group, and I feel like I might turn into the Natalie because there's four of us, right?
Right now, you're just Joe, and I love you for it.
Okay,
So
Stephanie is the Blair, right?
Stephanie is the Blair. Well, we don't know how her segment is going to turn out either. We might have a night of Natalie's.
Yeah, but her hair looks so nice tonight. I think she looks rich.
Okay, easy, Tiger.
True.
Easy, Tiger.
You guys wait till she comes on. You'll be like, wow, wow, we wow. Look at that
Okay,
beautiful
Joe.
hair.
Let's put in a neutral there. Come on.
No, I'm not.
Well, okay, easy, Casanova. Okay,
That's me.
so
I'm the Joe. I'm the Joe Polnicek. Where's my jean jacket?
Joe, let's begin your idea. So we're going to examine what the number one song was on our 21st birthday, because this should dictate what the remainder of 2021 has in store for us. So because you are our guests, we must start with you.
Yes. Okay, I know it.
Okay.
It's do you know there's Huey Lewis and the News? Have you ever heard of Huey Lewis and the News?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
He had a number one song on September 27th, 1986, and it was Stuck With You.
Yeah. So happy to be stuck with you.
Ooh. Yep.
That's
exactly.
the video. Is that the video where he's on the beach?
Yeah. Well, he's often on a beach.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Huey Lewis and the News. The music videos are similar. Songs are similar.
Yeah. Well, when you have a formula, keep hitting it. Did you ever hear that thing where they play those two Britney Spears songs at the exact same time, and they're almost the same song?
No, I can't say that I have heard this.
Yeah. Look it up. It's on YouTube. It's very interesting. You know, Baby, Oops, I Did It Again, and Baby Hit Me One More Time.
Yeah.
They play them, and
Baby Hit Me One More Time.
Yeah. Yeah, and they play them together, and it feels like it's just one song. It's really
okay.
It's
So
really
this
amazing.
is a time-tested formula which Huey Lewis and the News exploited to great success. Now,
yeah.
So happy to be stuck with you, Joe. What do you think this means for your 2021?
Oh, it means that because you were implying that I was on thin ice and everything, and it's like, sorry, man, stuck with you, right? I'm going to be here. I'm going to be
interesting.
here. Yeah, and no matter what happens, you're stuck with me.
Can I tell you what my interpretation is?
Yeah.
I think it means that COVID isn't going away.
No. First of all,
Joe, were you doing cocaine before the show?
Yeah, that's why I'm so up.
Yeah.
No, I hope that's not true. I hope that's not true. I like it more along the lines of like, oh boy, we're stuck with old Conto, and I come back and I go, sorry, you're Natalie.
You're going full Natalie, but I think that's you are veering towards the fun definition of these lyrics of this song. I think that I'm moving over towards the more realistic.
Well, you guys are in pretty deep up there, I will say.
Well, we're not as bad as Ontario, which has become Canada's toilet.
What happened over there? Okay, let's not talk about that. It is interesting because I did have a friend text me just before the show started. He's from the Albany area, and he goes, meaning his girlfriend Zoe, we're thinking about going to Canada next weekend. Do you know if you still have to quarantine up there? And I was like,
I believe that people have been warned not to come to Canada.
Well, the border is shut. It was amazing that somebody who lives so close, has no idea that the Canadian border.
And if you're in Albany, why would you want to leave? You got Friendly's, you got Chili's, you got a Cracker Barrel.
You got the Cracker Barrel. You got Olive Garden. You got what's the place I like so much? The steakhouse place. It's Australian Steakhouse, Outback Steakhouse.
The Outback Steakhouse, yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you want to leave? Why would you want to leave Albany?
Why would you leave Albany?
Yeah, you go to you visit famous Knickerbocker Arena.
You go to the Knickerbocker Pepsi Arena. You could go to Schenectady.
Yeah.
The Electric City. or because GE was based
Mm-hmm.
there. You could do a lot of nice things in the Albany region.
Now, Joe, how many more Montrealers are you going to be able to drop Albany references with? Let's get down to the brass tacks of this. Not many, I don't think.
Oh, well, no, I was surprised that you knew they had a Cracker Barrel.
Listen, when you're me and the other people who like Cracker Barrel, we call ourselves crackheads.
Do you really?
Now, well, it might just be me and no one else. When you're a fellow crackhead,
yeah,
you know where to find your fix.
Listen, I used the Cracker Barrel business model today as an example when I was making a case for something about a food truck. It's a whole thing, but I used the Cracker Barrel business model. I'm telling you, it's brilliant. I respect it a great deal. You hear the term exit through the gift shop. You enter through the gift shop there and then exit. So smart.
Well, I'll tell you what, I won't be visiting a Cracker Barrel anytime soon because of your 21st birthday song. So happy to be stuck with you.
No, you're blaming it on me.
I'm blaming it on your 21st birthday and the song that represents our future in 2021. Joe, I hate to say it. I don't think I'm going to see you until next year.
Oh, no, this fall. Do you want to hear about my 21st birthday?
Joe, we're stuck with COVID, so happy to be stuck with you.
All right.
Okay,
you know what?
Let's hear about your birthday.
When you really look at it, COVID hasn't been that bad with me. I've been all right.
Yeah.
Except for remember when you and I were both crying every day?
Well, I only cried the one time. I think you cried while having fries.
You told me I cried. Terrible. I did. I was listening to an interview with Carol Burnett driving around town, eating McDonald's French fries, feeling so good about the fact that the McDonald's, because it's a very small town, as you know, that the McDonald's reopened. And I was just eating French fries, and the nostalgia of eating French fries and driving around made me so sad or happy sad. I don't know what it was. And I started to cry and I go, I'm really affected by COVID. And I was listening to Carol Burnett. I love her so much, right? So it was that was.
Do you think you would have been more sad if you were listening to Carole King than Carol Burnett?
I like Carole King very much, but Carol Burnett is like.
Okay, Joe, I want you to close your eyes.
Important.
I want you to close your eyes. Okay. Now, are your hands free?
Yes. Yes.
I want you to. Well, I don't know what's going on.
I apologize. Go
I don't know. Perhaps you're touching stuff down there.
I'm not, though.
I want you to bring your hands up like you're driving a vehicle.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, great. So now, where would the French fries have been? In between your legs?
No. I have them in my cup holder.
Okay, so you get your French fries. Now, is it a medium fry or an extra large fry?
It's a medium. Thank you very much. And you skipped large. How dare you?
So I did.
It may have been a large. I don't know.
Now, Joe, I want you to imagine you're driving.
Yes.
It's a nice.
Are you trying to get me to cry?
It's a nice, quiet night.
Okay.
You realize you got a nice hot French fry next to you in your cup holder.
Oh, and Carol Burnett's talking about.
No. Easy now, Tiger. Easy.
That's
Yeah, that's what we're gonna put you to the test here. You're.
You know I cry easy. You're such an asshole. I'm doing this for you. I love you. Okay.
You're driving. But there's no Carol Burnett. It's just silence. Have another French fry.
Okay.
I want you to trust me here. That's a long fry.
It's a quality. It's the large.
Yeah. I want you to just say something to yourself about the French fries.
Out loud?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a good French fry.
And then you decide you want to turn the radio on.
I wonder what's on the radio.
You hear a bit of static. You put your hand back to your wheel. You hear the sounds of Carole King.
Oh.
From the Tapestry album.
Yeah.
Driving. And then you just hear the lyrics. The song begins. So far away.
No.
Doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It would be so fine to see your face at my door. Doesn't help to know you're so far away. Long ago,
Don't. It makes me sad. You're so stupid.
You're
So stupid. Well, because it is true, you know. I mean, there's so many people that I haven't seen in so long. Remember that thing about Oprah Winfrey that I can't even talk about?
I would never. Maybe in a special episode we examine.
In a special episode, we really look at that. What is it about that one little piece of an Oprah Winfrey show from 1988?
And this how we're going to tease people. So if you're watching right now, there's an episode of an Oprah Winfrey show that makes Joe emotional. Now, Joe, you said before I began to sing that, Carole King, that wouldn't bother you at all.
Well, I forgot that song.
Everyone's affected by So Far Away.
It's true. Well, that's why that album is still relevant today, right? Mm-hmm. So many songs on that album meant so much to people.
This is true.
Yeah. Even like cross-generational.
I couldn't agree more. Joe, I want you. Did you get a little emotional there?
Yeah. Well, yes. Well, I'm an emotional person.
Yeah, and that's fine. You know, I think that we spend a lot of time, as we have done tonight, talking about diarrhea, and you got a lot of clowns and jokesters who come on here. Why can't we make each other cry once in a while?
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, you know me. I'm not afraid of emotions. I'm not one of those people who I don't want to live my life bottled up.
Okay, well, Joe, you mentioned the word nostalgia moments ago. We've still got some time here, and you had mentioned talking about your 21st birthday. Tell us a little bit about it, and did it feature Huey Lewis in the news?
Oh, I'm sure it was played that night. We went to this thing called Wing Wars, where they, no, that's not true. It was called the Great American Wing Ding, and it was being held on the campus of the college I was going to school at.
The Great
American Wing Ding. Yeah.
Right.
Remember, this was 1986, where chicken wings were still, I mean, people had them, but they weren't everywhere all the time, right?
This is like something out of one of those trailers, like the year is 1986.
Yeah.
People have had chicken wings, but they weren't everywhere.
Well, like now you can get chicken wings at a grocery store, or I don't mean grocery store, like at a gas station.
Yes.
But there, only certain places had chicken wings, and mostly in the Northeast because of Buffalo. And so they were doing this thing called the Great American Wing Ding, and it was like, oh, these wings and all this stuff, and it was fun. And so we were there, and I decided I was going to drink all this beer. I didn't eat any chicken wings yet, but me and my friends were drinking. This is vulgar, by the way. It's gross what I was going to tell you.
Joe, so anyway, you say whatever you want.
Yeah. So we drank like all this beer on probably empty stomachs, because it was one of those things. It was like a $3 keg night. And my birthday, and I was going to show them all, right? So drinking huge amounts of beer, I knew I was going to vomit. Excuse me, throw up.
Yep.
And I guess vomit's the more appropriate word. And so was one of my pals. And but we weren't even drunk yet. We were just full, if you want to think of it that way.
Yeah.
So anyway, we both started to vomit, but we realized that because there was so much beer in there, that it wasn't painful or upsetting at all. It was just a matter of water was coming out of us instead of into us.
Sure.
And so we started, but it would happen again. So we started forming with our mouth to make it go, like come out really fast and then really slow, like a garden hose. You know what I mean? If you turn it, so it was like, ooh, wow, ooh, wow, and it would come out, and so that's what I remember.
You guys were having just some youthful fun.
It was real life youthful fun.
Yeah,
it was a good time. Remember Joe, that jean jacket I got stolen from me in Las Vegas? I told you. I
recall.
About that. Yeah. I was wearing it that night. It was only a couple years old.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, Joe.
Yeah.
In the chance that you're correct and you can visit Montreal in the fall, or we can visit New York in the fall.
Yeah.
I want to see what I can do as a non-drinker on your birthday to get you to vomit again.
No,
and if I can accomplish that, what I will do is I'm just going to sing Carole King to you.
Oh, you know what? Give me just enough drinks where I get teary-eyed, right?
Okay. I can do that.
That's the Irish in me, right? The older I get, the more the more easily
Yeah.
I can bawl. Yeah,
Well,
well,
I'll
not
sing
bawl,
some.
just get
Then
teary-eyed.
I know I can sing some Irish songs to you as well.
If you sing Danny Boy, it's over.
Well, you know what? I'm going to refrain from bringing down the waterworks again
Oh,
tonight.
not tonight, not tonight, on my birthday.
Joe, about, I don't know, 15 minutes ago, I said that if it doesn't work out, you're on thin ice. I'll tell you what, you're on safe land right now.
Hey,
you're on safe land.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Joe, thanks for stopping by. And one more thing.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too. I miss you so much, Jimmy.
I miss you too, Joe.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys again.
I'll tell you what.
Oh no, I'm getting sad again. Don't make me.
I'll tell you what, Joe. Next time we see each other, I'm going to let you pay for breakfast.
Oh, and I'll do it gladly.
There we go. It's a deal. Yep. Joe, thanks so much, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, goodbye.
That's Joe Conto.
How dare you?
Sometimes people, they come on the show, they get a little nervous, right? I got guests who come on this show who don't even want to come on the show. They openly, behind closed doors, but openly, do it as a favor to me. They get nervous. There's nothing to be. You come on this show, on the James Live program, as some people incorrectly call it. You're scared. Your face is red. The next thing you know, I am singing Carole King to you. I'm bringing people to tears. Let's welcome our next guest. She is currently preparing to enter the frame with what I guess some would call seductive dancing. It is Steph Mercier Voyer.
Can I dance for you? Would that be cool? Can I dance for you?
You know, I was doing pretty good until that combination crouch thrust came into play. And then I fell apart a little bit. Steph, it's been a long time since I've seen that dance, but I have to tell you something, that somebody else has been carrying the torch of unsettling and crude content since your vacay.
I'm so happy. Who is it? Tell me.
It's a Raquel Belmonte who brings stuff that is so vulgar that we have to blur and can't put on the air. So I think she might be the crude queen of the show.
Oh, I love that. I love that someone can make me look
yes.
Proper.
Yeah, so when the dancing returned, I was like, you know what? This isn't so bad. Here's Steph. I think she might be wearing a trendy janitor's outfit.
Jumpsuit. It's like a painter's. I've worn this before on the show.
Yeah, there's something about it that really struck tonight, and then some what looked to be some 90s inspired Velcro sandals.
Oh, yeah, I realized when
we're gonna have to ask you to bring your foot down because that goes against Twitch's terms and services. Feet are not allowed on Twitch.
I love the internet.
So because of perverts, we can't look at your cool sandals.
I did show a lot of feet at the beginning of the dance, and I'm sorry, I wasn't aware of
it. Wasn't the focal point. I think when the feet are in hard focus, that's when we fall into a bit of trouble.
The thrusting and the ass was fine, but feet not okay.
Exactly, yeah, because only the specific types of perverts are here for the foot stuff. Steph, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, James. I'm really, really happy to be here. It feels good.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I messaged you earlier today, because you and I were talking, I thought, you know what? Let's see if Steph wants to do it. I was expecting a no. Because I just assumed you were busy or that you wanted the night to yourself. And then it came together so seamlessly that I was overjoyed.
I said yes, and then I remembered why I haven't been doing it. It's a drag race on Fridays.
So the real reason comes out.
And right now is actually the finale that I'm missing because I didn't realize it was still on. It's the longest season ever, and it's never ending, and I just forgot, but I'm here. And not
now, you could have upon recognizing that tonight is the season finale, and I feel like we have this relationship where you could have said, actually, I kind of want to watch this drag race thing. And I would have said, that's no worries at all. But you didn't.
Here's the thing, James. I have watched, and this is not an exaggeration, in the last 2 months since I started my vacation from at home, 10 whole seasons of Drag Race.
Okay, now, how many episodes is that?
In a season, there are between like 8 and 14 episodes, I want to say,
Okay.
of 1 hour each. You and I don't do math, but that's a lot.
No,
That's
no, I don't.
insane. That's
Okay, so my first thought, I've never watched an episode. This is RuPaul's Drag Race, right?
Yeah.
So RuPaul was huge. Now RuPaul is huge again. Steph, my first question is, if I was on this show, on this RuPaul Drag Race, is it Drag Race or the Drag Races?
Drag Race. It's a single race.
RuPaul's Drag Race. What do you think my chances are of going far in the drag race?
I think you do really well, honestly. So here's the thing. So to do Drag Race, you have to be able to do improv. You have to
Sure.
be able to act,
Mhm.
dance, put together like dance basic choreography. You have to be able to like sing. I just heard you do Carole King, which
Yep.
is beautiful.
Yeah, thank
It makes
you.
me so cry.
Yep.
So the voice of 1,000 angels trapped in
Yep.
your little James body.
Mhm.
You have to be able to maybe the makeup and the
Okay, well, so let's examine this. Improv, legend, actor, experienced but skilled,
Yeah.
singer. Well, as you mentioned, voice of 1,000 angels. Dancer is where people will go. Now, this James guy, he doesn't like dancing. I'm going to tell you something. I was part of the award-winning comedy dance troupe, Dance Animal, having performed a series of shows in the 2012 Just for Laughs Festival, so I can learn basic choreography.
I mean,
makeup is where things go downhill fast.
you did wrestling, so you're a very like physical person. You can learn choreography, so you would do really well on Drag Race.
Okay, now the monikers that they take on, their names are never just like, oh, my name is Diane Jackson.
No, yeah. Some of them have really boring names. But like there's a famous winner, Bob the Drag Queen, which is a very basic name,
Okay.
iconic name as well.
Yep.
But there's names that are kind of crazy, but then there's simple names. Like Valentina is a simple name. Then you have there's one that killed me. Oh, Calorie Kardashian was a good one that I enjoyed. Not the
I
drag
think
queen,
I've got
but
it.
What's yours?
Now, earlier this week, we had our first and accidental Ramadan episode of At Home with James.
What's an accidental Ramadan episode?
It just happened. Yeah, it just happened where I promised that I would give up cold brew for Ramadan. Cold brew is now my drag race name. I am cold brew. Because think about this, I'm cold and I'm strong and I'm perfect in the summer.
You need like
You're telling me you don't like cold brew?
There is a drag queen on UK's Drag Race that was Tia Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
British for tea or coffee.
Okay, so you're saying that cold brew doesn't cut the mustard. What about cold bro?
No, you can't be a bro.
Okay, what about old brew?
Old brew's funny.
Yeah.
Old brew. You'd have to like play it up as like you're old.
Yeah, I'm an elderly drag queen.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, now, Steph, you mentioned, and this doesn't come up often, that I have experience in the field of pro wrestling. Now, what do you think your pro wrestling moniker would be?
For wrestling. So I was thinking my drag name would be COVID-69. I think that will be traumatic for everyone forever.
Sure.
In the 69, I feel like in Drag Race you need to have like a sexual reference of something.
Sure.
Wrestling names, I feel like it's usually like aggressive, like the terrible or like the big something.
Yeah. Well, let's work with that. If you were to be the big something, Steph, what do you think you'd be?
I think I like the idea of just being called Big Steph.
Okay, we've got Big Steph. Okay.
I'm quite short, so
Yeah.
Big Steph would be pretty funny for me.
Yeah.
What was your wrestling name?
My wrestling name is and always has been Twiggy.
Mm.
Because when I was much younger, I happened to be quite skinny.
Oh yeah, because now you beefed up.
Yeah, right now, yeah, I'm what people would call a beefcake.
Yeah.
So it worked well.
Yeah.
So your name would be Big Steph.
Yeah, I like the idea of Big Steph. Do you have another idea?
No, I want to work on this Big Steph thing now. What type of character do you think this Big Steph is?
I want to be really butch.
Really butch. Okay, so I'm imagining a trucker.
Yeah, so I'm. This might be offensive to people I hold dearly. I want to channel some of my aunts and people.
Oh, now, yeah, I can see this. I feel like you. Now, I don't want to offend your aunts here. Do they have short hair?
Some do. Yes.
I feel like a lot of Quebecois aunts have short, spiky hair.
Yeah, so I want that look. I want with the highlights, and I would like to have that bold burgundy color.
Yeah.
The purplish red
Mm-hmm.
with a couple blonde streaks.
Yeah.
I think that would be really good for me. I want to have visibly yellow nails from smoking cigarettes and crackly.
Oh, maybe you could come out and in your pockets you've got loose cigarettes and because I think you're probably what we call a face in the wrestling industry, which means you are endeared to the fans. I think you're throwing cigarettes out to the fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that.
Now, is Big Steph a trucker or is she the cafeteria, the head of the cafeteria?
Okay, so I don't know how this happened, but when I was in high school, my mom, I think I was part of the talent show committee, and our meetings were really early in the morning. So my mom would drop me off at school, but really early before she went to work.
Yeah.
I would kind of end up hanging out with the janitor who was, that is exactly who I want to be. Her name was Sylvie. She was tall, huge, short, spiky hair, super butch, and kind of very intimidating, but also really nice. And there's one day where we ended up in the school jam together.
I'm making me nervous where this might be going.
No, it's not going anywhere. But it's in the basement, no window.
Now I'm even more nervous.
And it's just the two of us. And she sits on
You keep finding a way to make this increasingly more unsettling. It began with, I hung out with the janitor. Then we were in the gym together. The gym is in the basement. It's just the two of us.
Yeah, so it's just the two of us.
This is where Carole King comes in and she starts singing, "It's too late, baby, now it's too late."
Okay.
And then the cops come.
So I'm sitting on a bike and I'm just biking, staring at the wall, being okay, I just need this to be over. This also sounds bad. But she is going from machine to machine, doing one big movement with full-on weights and screaming, "Ah!" and then moving on to the next machine.
So you want to embody Sylvie to be Big Steph, a high school janitor who endorses cigarette smoking.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I love this. Now with theme music, entrance music is huge in the wrestling world. What do you think that Big Steph enters the ring to?
What's the band that my mom? Rush? Is Rush a thing?
Yeah, Rush. Yeah. Now I was expecting you to say a French band, so this is kind of taking me off course, but I like this. Yeah, Rush. I like Rush.
Rush is so beloved by Quebecois people.
Quebecers love to rock. They like Bon Jovi.
I was torn between Bon Jovi or Rush.
They love Pink Floyd. They love Supertramp. I could go on and on forever, baby.
Or what's the Iron Maiden? I think was
They
really
love
cool.
Iron Maiden as well. Montreal loves to rock and roll. So
Yeah,
Big Steph is coming out to Rush.
yeah. Can you do a Rush song? I actually don't think I know any Rush song. It was just a vibe that I was feeling.
Yeah, well, the one Rush song that comes to my mind is "Closer to the Heart," but I don't know if that's a big Steph song.
That could actually be funny. Like picture that song and someone's throwing cigarettes at you, and
Yeah, so like you're coming out and you got the vocals of Geddy Lee singing "Closer to the Heart."
yeah, I think that'd be good. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
the cigarettes, they're like bent a
Oh,
little.
because they're loose in your pocket.
Yeah,
As you hear "Closer to the Heart," closer to the heart, and then that's when the bing bong, that's when that part in that song comes in.
yeah.
Okay, so Steph, I think we need to close this out. A big part of the wrestling world is the pre-match trash talk or interview.
Oh yeah,
Now, who do you think Big Steph's all-time enemy is?
Twiggy.
That's the perfect answer. Now, I've wrestled many women, many women.
Are you bragging or?
No, I'm just saying that because people who might not know the world of wrestling, perhaps they think the women wrestle the women, the men wrestle the men. There's often intermingling. I was at one point the intergender wrestling champion of the world. The world's a big place. Now, Steph, I would like to ask you, could you give me 30 to 40 seconds? Your Big Steph and my Twiggy, they've had a long-standing rivalry. Things are coming to a head. Tonight's the night. Before we do that, I have to ask you, does Big Steph speak in French or English?
I think she speaks in English. Yeah. Well, she had to adapt to the market. I know you
Now,
want this to be in
Now,
French.
does she speak does she speak English with a French
An
accent?
accent though. Yes. Yeah.
All right, so I want you to imagine the lights are on you. You've got the mic in your hands. There's been a year of back and forth. The fans need to hear from you. Your thoughts before this big match. Big Steph, take it away.
Wait. Before we start, can I get like home? I haven't watched a lot of wrestling, so they just talk smack about the other person.
They just talk smack. They recount history, what they plan on doing, what the person has done to them, how it makes them feel. It's an impassioned moment of emotion coming out.
Okay. Is there a journalist that asked me a question to get me going, or?
Yeah, well, I can play the journalist. Now, Big Steph.
Like that. I mean.
Big Steph, tonight's the night. It's been going back and forth for 1 year, 12 months in the making. The grudge match of the century takes place tonight. In just a matter of moments, you step foot into the ring, face to face, woman to man, up against your arch nemesis, Twiggy. Your final thoughts before you enter this contest.
Tonight's the night I'm gonna crush Twiggy. Twiggy has been my enemy since day one. He might not look like much, but he can throw a woman around.
Now, can you tell me, how did this rivalry begin? What happened between the two of you?
Actually, funny story, it didn't happen in the ring. It happened after. I was smoking a cigarette. I offered him a cigarette. He said, "No, I don't smoke. I don't smoke. I'm Twiggy. I'm a nice little boy." And I threw my pack in his face. And I said, "Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't want to see you." And he tried to hug me. And Big Steph don't hug.
So you're telling us, the audience at large, he refused your cigarettes, he refused to succumb to peer pressure, and then attempted to give you a non-consensual hug.
Look, I'm not saying that Twiggy is an assaulter, but I'm saying that I didn't give him my consent. Look, I'm a woman, my body, my choice.
There you have it, folks. I'm a woman, my body, my choice. Big Steph steps into the ring to settle the score in just a moment. Now, I like that you were smoking what looked to be either a cigar or a overpacked cigarette.
It's a lipstick.
It's a lipstick. Now, what was that like the first time you've ever portrayed a pro wrestler?
I think I like her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Now,
never really do a like Quebec French accent.
yeah.
I love it. It
Well,
feels right to
I'm
me.
going to tell you something. So again, wrestling doesn't come up much on here. It's my little backstory, but for the past 8 years, I have been organizing a series of pro wrestling events in Montreal, and I have incorporated a variety of people from the comedy world, including Carmen Rose, Dimitri Kyres, Jason Grimmer. Steph, I feel like when things come back, we're going to have to get you involved on some level.
I would love that. Just doing that made me think I want to see an improv show that is all wrestling characters, but like outside the ring.
Okay, so let's start working on that
Right?
idea once shows can come back. So, Steph, before we let you go, I want to put you on the hot seat for a second. If Joe was on that show, what do you think Joe's wrestling character would be?
Oh
Now,
my God.
in my brain, it's Sloppy Joe.
I know. Oh, his name. Okay. So there's the time I think I laughed the most in an improv class was when Joe was teaching me, and he was telling us about coming on the stage with like
I was getting worried there for a second.
an idea for a character, and then the other person endows you with something else. And he came on. I just crying. He came on as like thinking he was the like jock, like football player with a helmet here, like a ball. And then the person on stage told him, "Ooh, your pet pig."
So
And he thought he was like this stud sportsman, and someone was like, "Ooh, the guy with the pig."
he's just a pig man. So now, is he Farmer Joe? Is that what you'd like to make Joe's wrestling character, Farmer Joe?
No, I want him to be the stud football player. I think
Okay, so Joe's character is basically the stud, the captain of the football team.
Yeah, I want Joe to live out his fantasy as the stud, and that no one's telling him, "You're the pig man."
All right, unless that's where the story, maybe that's the story arc where someone says, you know what, for years this guy has been trying to present to you that he's the stud, he's the captain of the football team. Hey, everyone, take a look at this. And then a screen rolls down and it's Joe playing with a pig. He's actually the pig man. Now,
honestly, that story just killed me. And right after he was explaining the like code of conduct, and then we all had to respect each other, and I was still like crying thinking about the pig story.
that's actually where the code of conduct was developed after he was endowed as the pig man. Now, before we let you go, Steph, one more. What do you think Dimitri's pro wrestling character is?
Oh, it's sleazy. It's definitely like a sleazy character.
Yeah. What kind of sleaze? Because I'll tell you what I think about. I think he's a ticket scalper.
I mean, that's sleazy.
He scalps tickets for the shows, the wrestling shows that he's in. He tries to make a couple extra bucks by selling tickets on the side.
You can't see him right now, but he definitely is that guy. He is playing the character right now.
Maybe his name is the Secondhand Man. Secondhand Man. Look, I think we have to do a wrestling night on this show.
Can he be the second-hand man? And for some reason, he also has like one really big hand.
Yes, of course. Yeah, he has one enormous hand.
Yeah.
And he sells tickets on the secondhand market. Look, Steph, when we were talking earlier today, you're like, we could talk about this, we could talk about that. I said, you don't even worry about it. Now you've got a new character, Big Steph.
I love her. Thank you. Thank you for this gift.
Well, Steph, look, thanks for coming back on, and let's have you back soon, okay?
Okay, can I dance for you?
Look, we're not going to get Big Steph's music tonight, which is Rush Closer to the Heart, but we are going to get Can I Dance for You by an undisclosed artist. Take it away.
No fee.
Can I dance for you? Would that be cool?
All right, that is Steph Mercier Voyer. You thought if you were locked and loaded on our Instagram account at Home with James Show, you saw Steph, you thought, here we go. They're going to be talking about BJs and HJs and MJs. We're not talking about any of that stuff. We, as we say in the wrestling world, we called it in the ring, which means no plan, no prep, you just go. And we've got so much more of that in store for you this coming Monday. Who's going to be here? Well, you're going to think it's Wednesday, but it ain't. Andy Asaf in the booth on Monday. Also joining us is going to be a man of many monikers on this show, chief political correspondent, Dave's best friend. He most recently won the At Home Award, the Excellency. Was this thing called I named this award. What was it called? The James At Home Award, the Excellence of Vanguard At Home Award. Sid Rock is going to be here on Monday. I was doing just great hosting up until that point. Let's welcome our final guest, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. Let's welcome Dimitri Kyres, aka the Second-Hand Man.
The spider out came the sunshine and dried up all the rain. And itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again.
Well, it looks like your class has already vacated the room, Dimitri. Oh, these are very little kids. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, what seems to be the malfunction at the junction?
I muted myself. Sorry, guys. I'm having a lot of technical issues tonight, okay? I'm teaching
That's
a
no
class.
worries. So for people who are muted, Dimitri is coming to us from his schoolhouse learning room.
Yeah, my schoolhouse learning. James, I'm doing a little teaching on the side. I'm teching the show.
Yeah, you're teaching at 9:58 on a Friday?
Yeah, well, it's it's never too late to learn, James. I bet I learned a lot tonight. I'll tell you that. I learned that Joe Conto has lots of diarrhea, and I recommend that he maybe protein that body up and maybe solidify some things in that junction.
Okay.
And Steph is very good at coming up with wrestling names for me.
So that's what you learned. Okay, great.
Anyway, just teaching a class here, James, just finishing up. How are you doing today?
I am having a great week, and I'm ending the week with a great night.
Okay. Any plans for the weekend?
Plans for the weekend? Well, the world is my oyster. I'm sure that I'm going to take a walk with one or two people, perhaps explore a different neighborhood, have a cafe,
It's not what I wanted to hear, to be completely honest with you.
It's not what you wanted to hear. What did you want to hear?
Well, James, we've been talking a lot about you the last 2 weeks.
That's true.
I've been.
Would you like to recap for people that may have not been here?
Yeah, sure. Well, the first time that we kind of came together 2 weeks ago, I was concerned of whether or not you were going to be able to get back into the dating game, so I decided to set you up with 3 robot simulation dates.
And those did not go well.
No, you exploded the circuits. You absolutely devastated my $1 million machine, unexpectedly. But we learned a lot because algorithms are the future, and boy, oh boy, did we get a lot of information based on those 3 dates. The second, simulation or test that we ran you through was Who Wants to Be MTL's Hottest Stud, where you didn't get to $4,000, even with my dad's help.
Yeah, I used all of my helping aids, the phone a friend, the ask the audience, the 50-50, and I failed miserably. You're right.
Well, I wouldn't say failed miserably. Failed very poorly.
I wasn't aware that there was a strong distinction between the two, but nevertheless.
Well, if I can put my teacher's hat on for a minute, I'd say needs improvement.
Okay, fair enough.
So anyway, today, James, I'm look, I want to shift gears a little bit. Can I ask you something personal?
Sure.
Have you given any thought to your future?
have I given any thought to my future? In what respect? Romantically or in general?
In general, James, COVID and pandemic times has been a great opportunity for people to reinvent themselves, to be like cocooning themselves like a caterpillar, and then coming out of the pandemic a beautiful butterfly or some other creature. Anything can happen in a cocoon, as we all know.
Sure. Well, I will give you a honest answer to an honest question. Things have gone on so long that it's left me kind of questioning what the future has to hold. So I oftentimes will refrain from getting too excited about potential ideas or plans because I'm not quite sure they're going to be able to manifest themselves anytime soon in the way that I would like for them to. So that's my answer to that question.
Okay, well, that's a pretty good answer to that question. I'm very delighted to hear you say that, James, particularly why, and specifically why, I have, developed...
What's this voice?
I don't know. I'm just excited for you.
Right, yeah. It's just that your voice is like, particularly why.
Why are you making fun of me? Why are you making fun of me? I'm just putting on a voice.
You're right.
I don't understand. What did I just talk about? We can be anyone, anywhere, we want to sound. We can sound any way we want to sound now with the pandemic, James. People haven't seen us. Meaning, when we get back out there, you can grow a big handlebar mustache. Joe can have a big glasses like Pesci in that Italian mob movie that just came out. You know what I'm talking about?
The Irishman?
That's the one. I bet it looked good on him too.
The Italian mob movie, The Irishman.
Have you watched that movie?
No.
Because there's only one Irishman, and anyway, spoilers. Regardless, we're delaying. Anyway, I developed something for you, James, and I really think you'll like it a lot.
Okay, I'm excited.
Okay, well, let me bring it up really quick. I've spent some time developing this thing, and let's get to it right now.
Okay,
James, it's a career quiz, a personality test. So we're gonna take this test, and we're gonna try to figure out, maybe comedy isn't your thing, and maybe it's something else.
Okay, look, as much as I am skeptical, I'm intrigued, so sure.
I am also intrigued. Let's start the quiz, James. We're going to start with a real barn burner of a question, a real nut buster. So we're going to start right here. James, male or female? And again, you can be anyone you want to be.
Well, I'll go with male.
Okay, you're sticking to it?
Yeah.
All right. Now, James, now we get to the tough stuff. Being around a group of people gives me energy. Strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. Now, really think about this because I've seen you in a lot of social situations.
Okay, well, what would you say I'm like in a lot of social situations?
It's tough. I've seen you at a lot of parties. I would say I hover around agree to disagree. And it depends on the situation. Like, James loves to have a good time at a holiday party. He likes to do a little bit of this in the background, do a little dancing. He likes to talk to people. He likes to hover around the deviled egg section. And sometimes, though, not often. Sometimes you won't like to be at a bar and lots of people talking at you. And
that's fair.
You'll be like, hey, I think it's time for me to go home.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with disagree.
Strongly disagree or disagree?
I'm gonna go with disagree.
Okay. I like that. I feel good about that. I enjoy having a large circle of friends. I already know the answer to this.
A large circle of friends? I mean, I'm going to go with disagree.
Yeah, that's what I would have put. You like to have one or two friends maximum.
Well, I think I like more than one or two. I mean, I'd like to think that I've got 3 on this show right now.
Well, then, if you got 3 on this show right now, then we got to reevaluate this question.
No, this is a large group of friends. How do we define large?
More than 10?
Do I have more than 10? I don't know if I agree with your definition, so I'm just going to go with disagree.
I think it's more than 10. A large...
You know what? I'm changing my answer. I'm going to go to agree.
Oh, why is that?
It's my personality.
All right. Agree. I spend most of my spare time actively socializing with friends, attending parties, shopping, etc. I find shopping a peculiar thing here because I don't find shopping to be a particularly socializing activity. Like, I don't talk to people when I shop.
I'm going to have to go with strongly disagree.
Wow. I spend most of my time. Well, yeah, with COVID, I guess that's true. Okay, let's go with strongly disagree. I quickly get involved in the social life of a new workplace.
I strongly disagree.
Are you sure? Because I could see you being a bit of a gossipy bee at the office place.
I don't. The last time I worked in an office over the course of 2.5 years, I never went to the break room once to eat. I ate at my desk every day, and I never went to one work event.
You said disagree?
Yeah, I'm not part of the work scene.
Okay, let's go with disagree. It's too bad. The more people I speak with, the better I feel.
I strongly disagree.
What? What's wrong with you? Okay, strongly disagree. After a lengthy period of social engagement, I feel like I need to get away and be alone.
Agree.
Okay. People tell me that I am too quiet.
Strongly disagree.
Yeah, you're pretty loud. I prefer one-to-one conversations and relationships as opposed to a wide variety and change in people. A wide variety and change in people and relationships. One-to-one relationship.
You want to read that one again there,
Yeah. I didn't read that well. I prefer one-to-one conversations and relationships as opposed to a wide variety and change in people and relationships.
I'm not even sure that I understand this question.
I prefer a one-to-one conversation and relationships as opposed to a wide variety. As opposed to a wide variety and change in people and relationships.
You pick for me.
Why don't you understand this? Well, Pompon69 is saying agree, so we're gonna go with
with that.
Okay, that was a buster.
That was a nut buster.
That was a nut buster. I think and reflect before I act.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, okay, sure.
No, hold on. What's this now?
Well, I've seen you could be of a bit of an animal, James. Let's just say
an
that.
Animal?
You're
not even calling me human anymore.
Oh, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
People think that animals, an animal. I'm just part of the wild.
Yeah, sometimes you live. Have you ever heard? You know what first order desires are, James?
Yeah, no, never.
Okay, so that's like only the desires that animals have. So like an animal eats, so it just does that thing. I feel like sometimes you're like, I need a hot dog, and then you just leave your house and you go get that hot dog.
Yeah, when it comes to food, you think this question's about someone who wants a hot dog?
Well, the question says I think and reflect first before I act.
Okay, well,
when's the last time let me ask you this. When's the last time you did something that you would say reckless?
Reckless?
Yeah.
Define reckless.
Something that you're like, I don't know if this is good for me, and then you just do it anyway.
Well, I ate a hamburger and a poutine for dinner. I wouldn't call that reckless.
It's kind of reckless because you're floating with the idea of some diarrhea later this evening.
I'm telling you, I don't do things recklessly. You're talking to a straight-laced young man.
You're right. Okay. Well, I'm asking you these questions so you can think about it. I'm just testing you. And okay, agree. I am reserved and distant with my communication.
Well, that's tricky because in some cases I am, in some cases I am not.
Okay.
Say it one more time.
I am reserved and distant with my communication. Sometimes.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with disagree. I'm gonna go with disagree.
Okay, you keep it close to the chest.
Now, I'd say I don't keep it close to the chest.
I'm reserved and distant with. Oh, disagree. You're more open. I apologize. Right.
It's tough because I could go with either or.
Okay, well let's flip a coin on this one.
You know what? I'm gonna agree.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to agree.
What I like about this is you don't know either, and we're finding a lot of stuff out about you.
You know what? Self-reflection can be scary, but you're pushing me to my limits right now, and I'm as appreciative as I am intimidated.
Well, James, I hope we're going to keep chugging along, but I hope this is not that painful because at the end of this, we're going to have a great new career for you, my friend.
Yeah, how many more questions are in this thing?
You know, there's a lot, so we're going to go through. There's more than I thought.
It's also, for the record, the second time I've taken a personality test on this show.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, well, I don't watch the other shows. I worry more about current issues more than my future plans.
You're correct. I agree.
Okay, let's just blast. I rely on
Yep.
experience rather than theoretical alternatives.
Oh, let's say I agree.
Okay. I pay more attention to the current situation and less on possible sequence of events.
Disagree.
Okay, great. I am the first person to react to a sudden event such as a telephone ringing or an unexpected question.
Let's say agree.
I would say disagree personally. I feel like
Let's go disagree.
Yeah, okay. It is essential for me to try things with my own hands. Come on.
With my own hands. Yeah, let's go agree.
Yeah, definitely. I am comfortable working with ambiguous or incomplete information / data and guessing its meaning.
I disagree. I mean, I'll do it, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I easily perceive different ways in which events can develop.
Yeah, I agree.
Like a little Nostradamus. Okay, great. Agree. I think of myself as a sensitive person.
A sensitive. Well, we're all sensitive. I agree.
Well, okay. You sure you don't want to go strongly agree? I would say agree.
Yeah, I would say agree.
Okay, great. I have a vivid imagination.
I agree.
I would say strongly agree, no?
Okay. Look, I'm going to trust that you know me.
Okay.
So let's go strongly. Sure.
I am inclined to experiment rather than follow familiar approaches. James McGee.
Strongly disagree.
James McGee experiments. I mean, that's true. Strongly disagree. Okay. I trust.
How dare you? How dare you? I kill you. Let's continue.
I trust reason rather than my feelings.
I trust reason rather than my feelings. I agree.
Okay. Agree. I accept conflict as a natural and normal part of relationships.
I agree.
Wow. Okay. A fighter, not a lover. I am unbiased, even if it means.
Why not both?
I am unbiased, even if it means endangering my relationships with others. Be honest, James.
Yeah, I guess I'm. Say it again. Say that one again now.
I am unbiased, even if it means endangering my relations with others. Sometimes you don't like something about someone and you just say it to their face.
I think I'm going to agree, I think.
Okay. Sure. I think it's important to make decisions without being swayed by emotions.
I agree with that, sure.
Cool. I wish other people would be more logical.
Sure, I agree with that as well. Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
All right. My decisions are based more on my feeling in the moment rather than thorough planning.
No, I disagree with that.
Strongly?
Nah, not strongly.
Okay.
A lot of these I don't feel strongly about.
Okay. I make sure other people know that I care about their feelings.
I would say I agree. I could be better, but I agree.
Okay. I enjoy being there for people when they are feeling sad.
Yeah, I would say I strongly agree with that.
Wow. Yeah?
Yeah. How dare you?
My feelings come into play when I make decisions.
You know, I want to say right here, one of my favorite members of the chat room, Pump Pond 69, they made me laugh the other day, and now they're really touching my heart. So, say that one again, young man.
My feelings come into play when I make decisions. Come on.
I would say that I disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Disagree.
I may have feelings towards it, but I will generally veer towards the logical choice.
All right. I easily emphasize with the feelings of others.
Easily, I'll say disagree.
Okay. I take pleasure in putting things into order. Whoa.
I strongly agree.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You know, I've never had someone take me through a test where they react so strongly to my answers as if I was incorrect.
No, I'm just getting to know you so well, James. I didn't know you were I thought you were a rule breaker. I didn't know you were bureaucratic like that.
Hey, why not both?
As a rule, I go ahead with tasks only when there is a clear and detailed plan.
I agree.
Wow. I am almost never late for appointments.
Strongly disagree.
I am almost never late for... Wow. Really? Okay. I like to work around targets, deadlines, and routines for managing my life.
My life? Disagree.
Strongly?
Nah, just disagree.
Okay.
Yeah, once again, I feel like I'm trying to be swayed.
No. I prefer having the details before I do something instead of relying on improvisation.
I mean, I agree, but I'm happy to go the other way. I agree I'd rather have details, but if I don't, then I don't.
Okay, let's go with agree. I like that. I am more interested in the big picture of the idea as opposed to the specific details.
I'd say I agree with that, yeah.
You agree with that? Oh, hold on. You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. There we go. All right, back to it. Let's go with agree.
Well, how many more questions we got in this
We're
thing?
almost done, I think. I prefer to act immediately instead of sorting through the details in various options.
I would say that I agree. Sometimes action calls for immediate action.
Okay. I consider deadlines relative and flexible rather than absolute and rigid.
I would say I agree, but some of them are rigid.
Okay, so case by case, but we'll go agree. I am engaged by an active and fast-paced job.
Let's say agree, sure.
I'm curious about that, but sure. When I have a list of tasks to do, I prefer to multitask rather than focusing on a singular task at one time.
Disagree.
Disagree. That makes sense. Okay, James. No, you're kidding me. There's so much more.
Yeah, I want you to give me a number on how many more there are.
Wait. What? It fucking. Oh my. Okay, James, we're just gonna blast through these really quick. So in the meantime, maybe.
Oh, hold on. How many more? Dimitri, you're killing me here.
Okay, James, we got it. We got it.
We got it?
Yeah. So we did a personality test. And we've got the so you have acquired, well, I'm really excited about this, James.
Mm-hmm.
We've acquired the technician. So you are a technician, an ISTP, okay?
Okay.
Famous technician Bruce Lee.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm saying no, not a literal technician, James. A technician is just what they're calling this personality type.
I understand. So I've basically, through my answers, I have drawn Bruce Lee as my optimal personality.
Yes, you've selected the Bruce Lee personality. So we're gonna go with view careers really quick, James, because I'm very interested. Okay, well this is cool. Information and technology. Oh, business. Is business gonna give us a thing? Developing your career in business? No? Okay, hold on, James. I want to go to fitness for a moment. Okay, well, James, I've got news for you. This is not giving me a career path right now.
So basically what you're saying to me at 10:19 p.m. on the clock is that this personality test was a waste of your time, my time, and everyone's time.
No, because now we know.
You know what I think you would have drawn if you had taken a personality test? Would have said somebody who needs to work in the field of preparing the end of their segments better.
James?
Dimitri?
I hope you learned a lot. I had a lot of fun here tonight.
Well, didn't we? I'm glad you had fun. I once again, I've never had a test taker try to lead me so coarsely with my own answers.
I did have a stake in this, I won't lie, and the boys at the lab are going to be really pissed off that I lost their money. But James, I hope you learned a lot. ISTP, congratulations. I hope everybody in the chat had a great time. I had a great time. Hey, James, let's take us out. I'll see you next week on Friday.
Yeah. Let's take us out, whatever that means. That's Dimitri Kyres, and that was his personality test. If we were to try to brand and monetize that, it would be called Dimitri Kyres' pointless personality test, where the results aren't explained and don't matter. A great way to spend 25 minutes. I'll say this, that in the chat, courtesy of friend of the show, Naive Adventures, I feel like this is the perfect profession for me to burst into the field of, quote, James would do well as a personal coach for old ladies. I've said it on the show a number of times. Not only do old ladies, but old men really like me. I do great with grandparents, and I do great with parents. Now, if that isn't a pathway for me to go down, I don't know what is. Folks, that's our show, and that is our week. I want to thank Dimitri Kyres. I want to thank Steph Mercier Voyer, and of course, Joe Conto. What a good sport he is. And what a good sport you have all been for tuning in on just a lovely week's worth of shows right here, twitch.tv/@home-with-James. We're going to be back on Monday. Andy Asaf, Sid Rock, and of course, the number one Lil Cutie on Twitch. That's right, James Allen McGee. Have a good weekend. I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and of course, be well.